My session today is selling and the sales strategy to break your sales record. Wow, I'm so happy to talk about this because this is very, very important to me, because without sales, the bloodline of any organization would not move on. So I usually say sales is spiritual. Well, I believe there is nothing I want to say that you have not heard before. But I want you to listen attentively, because you would pick something that will work differently for you. Okay? First of all, in this case, I'm going to be telling you 10 different points to break your sales record and the sales strategy you should adopt. First of all, you must have a very big mindset. When I mean big mindset, very like a very big one. If you have a limiting mindset, you cannot crush your sales targets. Do you understand? So if you're thinking very small, if you're just thinking by your immediate environment that there is no one around you that can buy what you sell, honestly, you won't sell. So you have to go out all the way to sell to strangers. That's just the good thing about this. If you can sell to strangers, I bet you me, even 1 trillion will be too small for you to crush. For instance, I would be using my own story and my own instances. For instance, my sales target for this year is 10 billion naira for 2024. Like, I'm unapologetic about this. I say it everywhere I go. I don't care whoever is there, because like the persons cannot do what the target I've set for myself. I was telling one of my friends that the exact target is actually 1 billion naira. But if I should leave it at 1 billion naira, I might not crush that 1 billion naira goal. So I had to make it 10 billion naira so that I can crush and pass that 1 billion mark in 2024. What is the lesson here? It means that if your target is to sell 100 million naira in 2024, you must make sure you aim at 300 million naira and above. Because if you say, oh, my target this year is 100 million naira, I bet you me, this year is going to pass through, you might not hit 20 million naira goal. But if you aim at 300 million, at least you will hit 10 million naira, 100 million naira goal. Now, I said my sales target is is 10 billion naira, but the actual goal is over 1 billion naira. Do you understand? So what is your lesson here? At the end of this session, I'm going to ask everyone a question. What is your target, and what target are you setting apart from your actual target? Second of all, I always say that sales is spiritual, because spiritual controls the physical. Whatever belief you have, hold it dearly. Whether you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, whatever belief you believe in, hold it dearly, because it works like magic. The result that comes through this is like, this route is unexplainable. I can't really dissect this spiritual route. You might have done all the strategies I am going to mention after this. I'm going to teach you other strategies. You might implement everything, and your last resort might be prayers. So don't joke with spirituality. Now, I've mentioned 2 things. The third one, that's the third point, is that you must have a plan or a process. Let me use my scenario. Like I said my target is 10 billion naira. It means first quarter, I am supposed to bring in at least 2.5 billion naira. But remember, I said 1 billion naira is the benchmark, right? It means I should bring at least 250 million naira this first quarter, right? Glory be to God, I've done over 100 million in February. Though January was from the installment, the deposit clients made the end of December. So I won't calculate it. So, but from this first quarter, I've done over 100 million, even if I'm not really so happy that I'm not yet close to my target. Have you seen what I'm trying to do? If I had left it in 1 billion naira, this first quarter target, I might not have even gotten to the over 100 million naira I'm talking about. So it means that this month, whatever I am doing, it means that in this month of March, whatever I am doing, it must not be less than 200 million naira. Whatever. Actually, I said I would meet up this 2.5 billion naira, and I've not even done up to 150. But whatever I am doing, it must not be less than 200 million benchmark up to, and it must also not be less than 500 million naira. Do you understand? Now, in the next session, like maybe if we have another session after this particular session, then you can now ask me, Miracle, did you later crush that your first quarter goal of 2.5 billion naira, or how much did you crush? Please don't forget to ask me in the next session of this class. Now, having broken down how to meet the volume of each quarter, what's the next thing to do? You must have a process, and that process is called lead generation. Please bring out your book, bring out your pen, and write it down. Lead generation. I know you must have heard this a lot of time, because sales is a game of numbers. For instance, now in Zebulon owns, we have properties selling for about 4 million naira, right? Now let's say your target for a month is 200 million. How many plots do you need to sell, and how many people is going to get it? Normally, we can say one person can buy 1 acre, that's 6 plots. One person can buy 1 hectare, that's 15 plots. But we are going to use the worst case scenario to calculate these numbers. Now, let's say the average product in Zebulon Homes is 4 million naira, and your monthly volume sales is 200 million naira. What does it mean? It means that you should sell about 50 plots, right? Because there are people that will do instrumental payment. It means that you have to target plots. So I'm assuming it is 200 million that is your target in a month. So 200 million naira divided by 4 million naira is what, please? That means you need to sell to 50 investors. Now, when I said a worst case scenario is that one investor to one plot, it's true that one investor can buy over an acre, but let's use the worst case scenario, which is 1 plot to 1 investor. It means 200 million naira divided by 4 million naira is 50 investors. Though there are clients that might get more than one, but let's just calculate one anyway. In every 10 to 15 interested investors, write it down. Interested though is not anyhow investors. You have to target people that has money, people that are rich, high network individuals, because you might waste your time talking to 1 million people and you would not convert them. So in every 10 to 15 interested investors, you said one must buy. Like, if you have paid your dues, there is no how in your leads. You have in every 10 to 15 interested investor, and one of them do not buy. It means you have not paid your dues. Like, as we proceed, I'm going to talk about what paying your dues means. Now let's go to the calculation. It means that if you need 10 to 15 interested investors into your lead, it means that if you want to get 50 investors to buy your product, you need 10 times 50, am I right, equals to 500 leads into your funnel. I hope I'm communicating. I hope it's not confusing. It means that if you need 15 interested investors, it means you need 15 times 50 investors equals to 750 leads into your funnel. So realistically, worst case scenario, you need 500 to 750 leads into your funnel to meet your target of 200 million naira in a month. Do you get? Now, have it in mind that this work, as in, if you want it to become easy for you, you have to pitch acres and create offers. For instance, let me say the land is 4 million naira and 6 plots is 1 acre, which is 24 million naira. You can go ahead to ask for a discount. You can give them an offer. Do you understand? If you know you can't get that discount from the organization or from the management, you can go ahead to take it out from your commission, because you want to meet your target. You know what you want. You want to meet your target, so you have to take it off from your commission to make sure you meet your target. I do that a lot. Do you understand? Now, having said we need 500 to 750 leads, how do we even get these leads? Like, Miracle is talking about leads. From where I want to get that kind of leads. Now, that takes me to the 4th point. How do I get leads? This is the most crucial part, and I'll share my strategy. I'll share the strategy I use. This is not what I use I read inside book. This is what I am using. Okay. Number one, don't go too far. Don't go too far yet. Start from family and friends. You might say you want to start looking for strategy, but you need to start from family and friends, from close ones, from people around you, so that you can use that as, how would I put it? You can use that to for testimonials, to show track record. Do you get? So you have to start from your church members. You have to start from, there is no how you're an island. You don't have church members. You don't have club members. You don't have people you associate with. So, and this business is all about relationship. It's all about having the right network. It's all about your network. So it means that if you're in the wrong network, you have to check yourself and change your network. But before you do this, you must believe in the product you are selling. Before you recommend a product now to your family, to your friends, to church members, to people around you, you must believe in the product. Like, imagine you have let me say 20 million naira, and you can bring out 4 million naira to buy a product. Would you be having double mind to buy that product? It means you must not sell it. You must be sure, you must be like, you are happy to buy this product with your money before you sell. That means I said you must believe in the product. Then the next step for this fourth point I mentioned is that we are still talking about how to get these leads. Create compelling videos and content. In real estate or in any business, content is king. Okay, content is really king. Now, let's dive in on the type of content and the type of videos you need to create. First of all, you need to optimize all your social media handles. Please write this down. You shouldn't wait till the recording gets to you. Write everything down. You need to optimize your social media handles. As I'm speaking to you, I always optimize my social media handle. Number two, you must educate your audience about title documentations. You must educate your audience about title documentations. This is what I meant before by paying your dues. You won't just tell them to buy this land for this price, to come and buy land, to come and buy land, when you not tell them, educate them that, oh, this is the meaning of C of O, this is the meaning of Gazette, this is the meaning of D, this is the meaning of that, this is the meaning of D. You need to educate them because they need to know you as someone that is bringing value to the table and not someone that just wants to sell and make commission. They know that you know what you are doing. Do you understand? So you have to educate your audience on like facts about real estate. Also, you create videos around their pains or fears before investing. Then you also create product videos. In short, this one is the main one. Make sure that you create video that is talking about a value, like for that product. Do you understand? Then also, you also create lifestyle video. I'm guilty of this. I'm not really a lifestyle person, but I'm trying this year to, infuse lifestyle content into my brand. It's very, very important because it will help people to know you better, to communicate with you, and they will like you better. Now, number 3 points on how to get leads are, you can write a short ebook. I mean short. I mean some why I said short ebook is that something that someone can read within 30 minutes. I'm guilty of this because I've written ebooks before. I have to, revise it. Make sure you write land banking books or Airbnb or due diligence book or issues in real estate. Write these books so that you can create countless videos around this. For instance, now there are videos I've been recording that will roll out very soon for Airbnb. I wrote a book on Airbnb. Now, I had to create up to 30 videos, which I have not released out to the internet yet. I had to create up to 30 videos around Airbnb. This will enable me hit my target of selling 50 houses this year. So this is how it is. It's just a game of numbers. So people will get hooked and interested, and you will get them into your funnel. Always leave a call to action button. Do you understand? For instance, now you wrote a book on land banking. You tell them how they can start their land banking, tell them their fears, tell them everything they need to know about land banking, and they are ready to get a land or take action from that book they read from you and that trust they got from you, and now they cannot reach you. So you must always have a call, a CTA for whatever medium you're using to get your funnel. Now, the first point of getting leads is that you should run ads. Ads are very important. You should run ads on that video that kind of, went viral, or the video that got the most engagement. You know about this. Or the video that makes a lot of sense, that educates and sell the product at the same time. Run ad on those kind of video. I see a lot of people, they will just, post a product and, just be running ads and be expecting sales. Sales will never come that way. So you have to run ad on something that can bring controversies. You understand? Something that will be like people to be wowed. If you run a video like that to hook your audience in the first 30 seconds, you are likely to convert them. Do you understand? Okay. So the number fifth one for getting leads is that try to give your videos to mini influencers. Do you understand? I know why I use mini influencers, because a lot of people might just be starting and they don't have the luxury to pay up to 1 million or 500,000 naira to influencers. You can use mini influencers that has good following on Facebook, that still collect 5k, 10k, 15k, 20k. This is very good. This works like magic than ads, because you are tapping into the audience. You're also tapping into the trust of how the followers, of the trust that the followers have for that influencer. Do you understand? Please, hope you're writing all this. Now, the fifth strategy of sales is that you should follow up on all your leads. Do you understand? Follow up on all of them and keep compiling them. There is a lot of work. Okay, now let's use this calculation. If you are looking for 500 leads in a month, it means daily you should get at least 20 people into your funnel daily. Now, every one of us here, how many people did you talk to today? Did you talk to yourself, even if everybody has muted their mic here? How many people did you talk to today? Like, did you get even if it's 5 people into your lead today? I am talking about 20, at least 20 people. So you can see it's a lot of work. You have to talk to at least 20 interested people, 20 people that you know that has money. How do you get those 20 people? You will be on social media all day, watching videos. Enter into their DMs. Enter into the DMs of influencers. Even if they don't answer you, keep entering their DM. Tell them about the value. One day they will open your message. Enter into the DM of people that has money. Do you get? Enter into the DMs of people. You need to talk to them. Talk to your family people. Go for traditional marketing. Run ads to get those leads into your funnel. So look for how to get at least 20 people daily into your funnel. Because if you are waiting till you get maybe that 500 people into your funnel, it will be very, very hard. You cannot get this once in a day. So at least my own target every day is to talk to 30 people, to make sure 30 new people, or if I'm talking to other people, comes into my funnel daily. That's why it's as if, no, I'm not being exhausted with the leads that are coming in. Do you understand? Now, as big as Coca-Cola is, they are still running ads every day. You can see even the big brands that you look up to, they are running ads every day. Every day, as big as they have permanent customers that love Coke, that keeps drinking it, but still they still keep running ads. So you have to, like, every day, if you want money, if you want DBA, daily bank alerts, like one of my coach usually says, if you want daily bank alerts, it means that you need to talk to people, you need to look for how to service your business, and leads are coming in every day. You must really mean business. Now, the sixth of them all is that you should build a brand. You have to choose and concentrate in this business. Do you understand? Like, you can't be telling me that you are doing this, you are doing a lot of things. You have to focus. If you really want to hit your target in real estate, except your target is very, very small, except your target is maybe just about 100 million naira. But if you mean business in billions, it means that, or you mean business of hundreds of millions, it means that you need to focus. There is something like the power of focus of one. Yes, it's good to diversify. You can do a lot of things, but at least get one thing right. Do you understand? Get one thing right. Okay, now let me give you an example of how the power of one thing is very crucial, and how it has helped me. I want to tell you my TEF story, my Tony Elumelu Foundation story. 2 years ago, that is 2022, I applied for Tony Elumelu Foundation. So I just graduated December 2021, and during my project, my final year project, I did an outstanding project. It was additive manufacturing. I and my team, we constructed a 3D printer. It was really a good technology. I was like, oh, this technology can bring us money in the business world. Do you understand? So I had to venture into business in that line. I did not know that there's a difference between innovation and there's a difference between the business aspect. I went to go and apply for Tonelu Foundation. Guess what I fill in when I was applying. I had to tell them we are producing 3D printer, we are producing drone, we are producing robots. Like, who does that? They are giving $5,000 grants, and I was putting a lot of things in that 2022. Common sense would have told me that I cannot get this grant because I'm not focusing on one thing. And not just that, even if I had put additive manufacturing, that $5,000 they would have not even given me because the money is more than what they want to do. So when I'm talking about the power of focus, you need to focus on one thing. So let me now tell you the breakthrough of this Tony Elumelu Foundation. In 2023, last year, I had to focus on one thing. And this time around, I didn't go through the engineering route. I had to go into where my strength is, which was real estate. Yes, I applied for Tony Elumelu Foundation under the tourism and hospitality industry. Real estate is kind of related to hospitality. Do you get? So I had to tell them that I was building a platform. I had to just focus on one thing, just one thing. Just talking about real estate, but I infused fintech and tech, kind of. It made it so touch. And that product, and I got the grant. I got the Tony Lumelu Foundation grant 2023 cohort. Yes, the $5,000, I got it. So this is the power of one thing. It's very, very crucial. You need to focus on one thing. Now, this is my Tony Elumelu Foundation story. Now, the seventh of all in this sales strategy is that you should employ traditional marketing. Set aside once or twice in a week for this traditional marketing. Do you understand? For instance, now, digital marketing is very, very great. It's very, very great, but you need to start, going to offices, going to companies, write proposal to companies. If they don't answer you, go there with your legs. Go there with any means. You must meet them there and go for traditional marketing. Okay, let me tell you my Alaba story. I live with my parents in Alaba. Alaba, that's where I'm being given birth to, Ojo Alaba. So, when I started real estate, I had to start moving from shops to shops in Alaba. I made my first sale from traditional marketing. I was moving from shops to shops. Okay, so in a day, I'll be like, I want to talk to 30 new people. I've crushed talking to 50 people in a day in Alaba. So what I do is that I'll be like, this line, how many shops are there? I'll go there, I'll greet them. I'll make sure that I give them my contact. I make sure they save my number and I save their number. Do you understand? Like, we must exchange contact. They must be seeing my status. That is how I do it. It's only when I'm tired. The least I get in a day from traditional marketing is only 30. The least I get. So I get up to 50 or more, depending on how the strength I have and how early I go. You can see there's a lot of work to this. So you should employ traditional marketing. But me, I would not go through that Alaba route again because I realized that why I want to go through that route again is because I prefer digital marketing. So even if I go to Alaba, I rather go to importers. I rather go to people that has the money. I've learnt my lesson. So you have to, start from somewhere to know what actually works for you. Remember I said that there is nothing I'm going to say that you've not heard before. But if you listen attentively, you'll pick one or two things that work for you, because what works for Mr. A might not work for Mr. B. So you have to look for what works for you. Now, the traditional marketing I now do is that I pitch to companies. I look for CEOs on LinkedIn, chat them directly. Like, when I'm meeting the people that are big. I don't care. They are human beings like me, so I'm not scared. Do you understand? I talk to them. So that is one of a traditional marketing. You need to meet them one-on-one. Now, the 8 of them all for sales strategies that you should attend events. Get into network. Okay. I know you must have heard this attend events. You'll not be like, all the events I'll be attending is only maybe my fellow realtors or people that will not buy. Let me now explain the kind of attend events for you. Like I said, I graduated from Futo. I was in my BS. Okay, when I finished my BSc, I had to go for masters. The reason I'm doing masters in Unilag is not because I want to do masters. I wanted to do masters. It's because I wanted to sell. I had to check it. I said, okay, how much is the school fees? The school fees, everything, all the things I spent were not up to 300K in Unilag. I said, okay, I just need to spend only this money. It's a win-win. Number one, I will still get my MSc certificate, and number two, I will convert people. I will convert realtors to my team, and I will still sell for my lecturers. And there are lecturers I'm speaking to you now. They want to pay for a particular land I gave to them, and they are always viewing my status. That was the main reason. I had to look for network where I know realtors are not really that there. Realtors are not there. Do you understand? They are not like marketers are not there. I had to go into network that people don't think about for to go and look for my customers. I can go for medical events. Now there was an engineering event we had. I had to go there to go and look for prospects. So these are the kind of events you should go for. You know what you are going for. You need to identify yourself as one of them. Do you understand? Then you can use now pitch your side hustle to them. It will look like a side hustle, but they don't know that that's your full hustle. Do you get? Now let me tell you about getting into network. I'll tell you about my DSI story, dominate sales and influence. So last year I understood the power of network, and there's this Lolo of Instagram. She's very good. I had to get into a class. Then our class was 250,000 naira and 500,000 naira. I had to pay the one of 250,000 naira. It was a class of 6 weeks of teaching. So the main reason why I went there is that it's not because what she's going to teach is something outstanding. Though I really learned some things, I listened attentively and picked some things I did not know and I was not doing, but most of the things I know them. But the main thing was I got into networks. Because I realized that this kind of people, if they can pay 500,000 naira, it means that these people will know people that can buy land. I got into that networks and made them as my friend. As I'm speaking to you, there's a lot of things going on which I would not share here. So you need to get into network. You need to pay for access, paying for access and getting into networks. So that's the 8 of them all. Now, the 9th of them all is all these things I'm saying, you need to get to work. Remember, it's a game of numbers. Until you meet your goal, you should not stop. That's 9th of all. I had to put it as a point because without getting to work, even if you listen from beginning to the end of all I've said and you don't put to work, you can't get results. Now, the 10th of them all is that you should ask for testimonials and referrals from, people that has bought from you in the past. There's something I want to even do of recent this week, but I had to, take it to next week. Is that almost all my clients that's bought from me? I wanted them to do a video for me to hype me. They need to hype me, so I'll run ads on all of them. That I've, given them their documents. I've, satisfied them. That is another one way, because you don't know what the power of one client can do for you. This client can bring you a lot of referrals from the testimonial. So it's very, very vital. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to recap everything I've said in few minutes. Like when I mean 1 minute, I want to recap everything I've said. First of all, we talked about getting a very big mindset. You should have a very big mindset to crush your goal. If you have a limiting mindset, you cannot crush your goal. Number 2, I talk about how sales is spiritual. Spiritual controls the physical, and how it's very, very important because it works in miraculous way. Number 3, I talked about having a plan or a process. And the plan or a process, I dissected my target and how you're going to divide it. I talked about lead generation. I talked about the process of lead generation. Still under the 3rd one, I also talked about we broke down processes on how Zebulon homes, the average property there is 4 million naira, right? I talked about how you can meet your target of 200 million naira a month, how many investors you need, how many leads you need into your funnel. Then the 4th point, I talked about how to get leads. Do you understand? I talked about you should start with your immediate environment. You should create compelling videos and content. You should optimize all your social media handles. you must educate your audience, it's very, very important. I talked about creating product videos, which is very important. I talked about lifestyle videos, which I said I'm guilty of. I've not yet started implementing, but it's very, very important. It helps you and your, followers communicate properly. Then I also talked about you writing a short ebook on land banking, Airbnb, due diligence, issues in real estate, or whatever you know that investors has faced in the past. Okay. Then I talked about how your videos must hook your audience in 30 seconds and get them interested into your funnel. Then I talked about you should make sure leaving a call to action. I talked about you running ad on your video that went viral or makes a lot of sense, that educates and sell a product at the same time. I also talked about you should try to give your videos to mini influencers. You should tap into their audience and tap into the trust that their followers have for them. It is very, very good. I use the keyword mini influencers because you can spend at least 5K, 10K, 15K. Yesterday, I even contacted some of them and their prices are so affordable. Then the fifth one, I talked about following up on your leads and you should keep compiling them. I talked about how you should talk to not less than 20 people daily. If you do this, oh my God, your sales is something else. Talk to not less than 20 new people daily. It's very, very important. It means that you mean business, because see what Coca-Cola people are doing. They are still trying to convert people that are still drinking Pepsi into their Coca-Cola. They want nobody should compete with them. Everybody should still be drinking Coca-Cola. Imagine. The sixth of all, I talked about you building a brand. You building a brand that people will love, like, and trust you. This is very, very important because at the long run, you might not need to run an ad. You might not need to do all this strategy, but with your brand will speak for you. It's very, very important. I also talked about my theft story, the power of one thing, the power of doing one thing, which is very important. I talked about you employing, that's the seventh of them all. I talked about employing the traditional marketing route. I also talked about my Alaba story for the traditional marketing route. Then the eighth of them all, I talked about you getting into network, having access to HNIs, high network individuals. The ninth of them all, I talked about you getting to work, because all this thing I've said, if you don't implement it, it's a waste of time, honestly. Then the 10th of them, I talked about you asking for testimonials and referrals from those that has patronized you before. Thank you so much, and I want you to ask me questions.
Good evening, madam. Thank you very much for your teaching lectures. I really appreciate the depth of knowledge that you've communicated with us. I have some questions I want to ask. Let me start with first one. You talked about the issue of the spiritual aspect of real estate. I would like you to expatiate more on that. What do you actually mean about this? Spiritual aspects of have to involve in real estate sales.
Okay.
Did you get me? Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to give more on that. And then they also okay, you talked about building confidence in what you are selling. Yeah, that is one major area that because of what goes on in the real estate industry,
Yeah.
a lot of quacks and okay, like what happened in Lagos last year, structures being things like that. So if I need to be very sure of what I'm selling, what I'm marketing. So building that confidence is one aspect that really, if you are sure of what's the product you are selling, how do you go about that, being sure of the product? You know that there are some properties you see, they will tell you freehold. They will even tell you CFO in view. Even the ones with CFO, government still takes over the property. How much more the one they're talking about? Yes, that's true. The one with a CFO still demolish, takes over the property. In fact, there's a case I attended a program, and then the person was talking about him buying a land, not knowing that it's under government acquisition. And when such kind of a thing happens, it is the realtor that the customer will be pursuing after. So that is that. And then they asked, that's my second question. And then the second one, you talked about ebook. What do you mean
Like
by
what?
ebook? Ebook.
Okay, ebook. Okay.
Yes, ebook. Yeah,
Okay.
that's I want to appreciate more on that. And I think I have two other because I was trying to write down the questions I want to ask. And what else now? What else? Okay, maybe I'll come back when I remember the other three. Thank you. My name is Raymond Remigius.
Thank you
Yes.
very much, Raymond. Okay, spiritual one you okay. Thank you, Raymond. I'll start with the spiritual one you asked the question. Like I said, sales is spiritual. For instance, now, as a human being, you wake up every day. What do? You pray, right? Why do you pray? Raymond, please, why do you pray every day? Can you hear
Well,
me?
yes,
Yeah.
God's hands to be upon you, and His favor to rest on you, His protection, God to lead you. So basically, God's
You said?
leading, God's leading, God
Okay,
to
God's
lead you through the day, and His favor to rest upon you.
uh,
For yeah,
exactly. Exactly. The way you believe so much in prayers for your life, the way you believe so much in prayers for God's leading, you have to believe it in this real estate business. Like I used to say it everywhere I go that whenever with everything I've done, if I've done everything, all the strategy, and that sales is not coming forth, that's why I said sales is spiritual. And there is, for instance, you say you pray every morning to get favor. So you have to pray for your business because it's the spiritual that controls the physical. Do you understand? Whatever goes on the physical, it has, it has started from the spiritual. So if you take your spiritual life very, very serious, whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, whatever belief you have, for me, I'm a Christian. So whatever belief you have, if you hold on to that belief, apart from your strategy, the spiritual aspect works like magic. For instance, if you've ever had a close call before, maybe you feel that something bad must have happened to you, but you called upon the God you serve and he saved you. That same God that saved you from that can still help you in this business. Do you understand? So you take the God factor very serious. The way you take it in your life very serious. The way that you pray for sound health, that's the same way you should do that for your real estate business. Do you understand me, Raymond?
I do now.
Okay, so that's check. Now let me talk about the confidence. You talked about confidence, about some property. How can you be so sure that this property is safe for you to sell? Okay,
Yes.
so this part is very dicey, but the first thing I tell my fellow realtors and my group, my team members, what I tell them is do your due diligence. In as much as you are just a realtor or just a seller or just a salesperson, tell your client to do their due diligence. For instance, there's a house that I want to sell. The client wants to buy. I had to tell the client to do due diligence. Other clients, they had to, start doing the due diligence of that property. Then luckily for me, the lawyer said they can go ahead, that everything is check good. So doing due diligence, you can use the service of surveyors, you can use the service of lawyers, but I prefer surveyors because most times these lawyers do not know how these things in real estate industry operate. Sometimes you should be careful of the kind of lawyers. You should be careful of lawyers that comes from your investor, because sometimes they come to snatch your deal. That's just the truth. They come to collect your deal. Tell your clients what they don't know about or what they are not knowledgeable about. So it is your duty to learn, to start learning about the real estate law. Okay, you talked about even some properties we see of government still collect it. Yes, now, how would that Ikota thing that happened, how would you go and build on canal and it's blocking the drainage, blocking water block, and you expect they don't demolish your property? That means, it means that you got the CFO not legally. It means either you bribe an official in the Alausa, and you did otherwise. So you have to do your double check. Now, in this real estate industry, it's just investing, there's always risks. That's just the thing. There is always risks. That's why I always tell my clients, diversify your portfolio, diversify real estate investment. As a realtor, you are in the position to tell your clients that if they buy, for instance, now they buy in Ilara Epe, tell them as you buy in this Ilara Epe, come to another estate in Ilara Epe, come and buy. Come to Igboye Epe, come and buy. Come to Ketu Epe, spread your investment. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Because let me give you an example. My parents, growing up, before, in short, even before I was giving birth to, they bought lands. There was one they bought that there are up to 3 lands they bought till today. It has gone. How did it go? It's not they number one, some of them they didn't do the due diligence for it. Then the other military came to take over. They say it's military place. But do you know the funny part? They did a total of, let me say, about 8 investments before I was born. And up to more than 3 or 4 went into voicemail. They didn't get that property. They lost the property. But the remaining property that they still have to today, I've been minting them millions annually. So real estate, there is risks, but the risk is lower than every other type of investment. It is minimized. So you tell your clients that you've done your duty, you've done everything. All the land still belongs to the government. But it does not mean because there's risks, they will not now invest. Do you understand? So the best way to safeguard their portfolio is that they should diversify. Do you understand? They should diversify. They can buy at estate 1, estate 2, estate 3. Even if 3 gets missing, they still hold on to that one. It does not mean that one thing goes wrong, they won't fall back at the other one. I know why I'm saying this. My parents, the ones in Alaba International, is still minting the shops that are there. Something they bought for 50,000 naira. How many years ago, before I was giving birth? Less than 50K. You know how much shops are there? It's over 30 million naira per shop. So you can imagine. You cannot say because there is risk, you will not invest. Do you understand? But do your due diligence. Get professional advisors, get surveyors. It's not costly. Tell your client to pay for this due diligence. You can do your due diligence as a realtor. Pick coordinates when you go to the site. Go to Alausa. It is not hard. Go there, do search. There are different types of search you pay money. There are some of them you pay just 37,500. There are some of them you pay just 3,500 safe. The money is not much to do due diligence. So you as a realtor, you need to learn about what you are selling, learn about the title documentation, learn what gazette is. If they tell you a land is gazette, what do you understand? Do you get? If they tell you a land is, a land does not have any title, how can you perfect the title? You need to learn. So invest in knowledge, spend money. Like last year, I spent a lot of money to learn, so you can do the same. Now, you talked about, are you understood on this confidence aspect, Raymond? Do you understand on this confidence aspect, Raymond?
Yes.
All right. So don't use fear to run away from this business. Me, I was saying it the other time that I was scared, but Laila, you can't run away from this business. So if you are scared to do business, you're not an entrepreneur. So number 3 is this ebook. You asked a question about ebook. Ebook is just like a bronchio. It can be a bronchio, or it can be something you use to educate your audience. Now, when I talk about ebook for land banking, Airbnb, for instance, now you are selling lands, right? How do you pass an information to tell your audience, you know what you are doing? You have to write a book on land banking. That's what you have to do. You have to tell them how to. After this session, I'm going to send a link where you can download my ebook for free. Then read through it. You understand what I'm talking about. Do you understand? You understand me? I don't really know how to explain it in a term that you understand. So after this session, ask for a link to the ebook I wrote. Get it for free. Then read. Look for how to create your own ebook, but make yours shorter so that when your client or your prospect reads it, they can make informed decision to patronize you. Same as Airbnb. The reason why I wrote the Airbnb book and the reason why I'm not giving it for free is because it is, I spent a lot of time to write it. So it's for people, investors that I know that have at least 50 million naira to buy houses. So do you understand, Raymond?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Please, who have a question?
Yeah, on the aspect of the confidence, I've really gotten some things. I've learned a lot from what you explained about the aspect of confidence. Having a surveyor and a lawyer, even in your own team. But there's one aspect that you mentioned. I just hope maybe we'll probably have a way to contact you. Maybe the CFO of Zebulon will still have enable us that access to be able to reach you for more guide. Talking about going to allow us to do search by ourselves, and
Just use a surveyor's this thing. Just learn from a surveyor. Pay money to a lawyer. Pay money to lawyers, they will teach you. It's not costly. Even with 20,000 naira,
oh,
they will teach you some of these things.
okay. So
Yeah.
then they talk about let me okay the quota you made reference of. It's I think one thing they mentioned is that even when you are putting up a property, there are approvals you need to get, and there are
Yes.
permits you get. So
Now,
that is
do you know a lot of homes in Lagos does not have building permits?
so
Even
that
this
is the issue
Alaba
of
I'm living, nobody have many of them does not have building permits here.
very good. So it is because they didn't get drainage permit. That was why those properties was.
Exactly. Exactly. They
The,
don't
the,
follow rules.
the other question I wanted to ask is the aspect of entering into DM that you made mention of. Even if you have somebody's direct contact, how do you enter their DM? I think that ends my question for today. Thank you.
As far as their DM is not on private, you can enter their DM. Tell them, greet them, tell them who you are. Most times they will not answer you, but you never can tell. You look for how to get access to them. Just at least try. Keep trying. I'm inside some DMs of some influencers. I hope they answer me. And some of them has answered me.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. Please, do any of you have questions so our next speaker can, go on.
Okay, hello. Yeah, thanks so much for your lecture. I really enjoyed. If I liked your confidence and everything you've done, you did. But let me just ask. You said you were meeting people. That's when it comes to traditional marketing. At least 30 people daily. Wow, you really did very well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
really, it's so easy for ladies to be able to get to meet people and start a conversation and then quickly go to market like that. But I guess that's where for
Second speaker is a
us,
male, though. Don't say that again. The second speaker is a male and he's crushing his sales. Don't worry, when he
wow.
talks to you, yeah.
Okay, okay. That because for me, I have a lot of people. No, for me, I do make a lot of Facebook posts, and people see me, but I'm not trying to get some of them to be interested. Some of them, by the time I talk to them, they just it's as if they are just enjoying watching me, but they are not really committed to talk about the real estate. Some of them are in the diaspora because I know that those in the diaspora they have money, but it's as if I'm still looking for skills to really get them interested, to really
You
commit
know,
them.
there was something I said that everything I'm going to say here, you must have heard it before. But if you listen
Yeah.
attentively, you'll pick something. With this thing you've said now, when I talked about sending your ad to influencers, did you pick that point? If you get the trust,
Yes,
if
I
you
did.
tap into their audience, what can limit you? What exactly wants to limit you?
Okay, please, I have a question. I actually have I have a friend in my place of work who has over 10,000 followers on his page. He calls it Expensive Corner. But the guy does not show his picture. He will just be posting beautiful things and people are following him every day. But I was not looking I called him. I said, maybe we should network together. Let me introduce me as one of maybe as a co-partner so that I can be posting my real estate on your platform. The absolute real estate and something expensive corner, but he has not put his platform to use at all. He doesn't use it for anything. But it's like he was not willing to allow me to showcase my real estate. So I'm thinking, how do you think I can use that? Maybe that's another thing I got from what you said now. If I can maybe tell him, oh, let me pay you, how can you help me? So I don't really know. Am I going to
Okay.
give him a video to post for me?
Okay, there are different ways to approach this, but let me talk about one of the ways. The next speaker is coming to talk about team building. So one way you can convert him, you can get him registered. If he should use his platform to sell, remember you are going to get paid indirect
Yes.
commission. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's one way. It's not most that sometimes say 1% is better than 100%. So if
Yes.
he can be able to do all the work, good for you. You don't need to struggle to close the sale if he can do it. Then another way is that you can, if he doesn't want to go through that route, you can,
Yeah.
tell him that he's going to get a cut for whatever sales that comes through him, that you are going to do all the closing and all of that. Then another way you can also pay him, just pay him a one-off fee or monthly that should maybe post you 2 or 3 times weekly. Do you understand? So whatever
Okay.
way you choose to come in, but try to know which of them would he like to go for, and which of them are
Okay.
you comfortable with and you can afford. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Thank you so much, Kabes.
Welcome.
Good evening, Miracle.
Good evening, sir.
Razak.
Yeah, good evening.
Ma'am, please, my question is, how do you build and maintain strong relationship with your clients?
How do I maintain strong relationship with my clients?
Yes.
First of all, I used to send gifts for them. Like there was one, she bought me an acre of land, but November. So I realized that okay, she's not in the country, she's actually in UK. Then I realized that she has not, we've not repeated any transactions since that November. So when I came to this February, that's last month, was her birthday. So I had to send a gift. I had to send birthday gift separately, still bought her client gift separately. She was just so happy, she didn't expect it. And she started referring me. Now she's coming to buy more. So one way you can use gifts. I've also done it for one of my clients also. When he came back to Nigeria from Spain, I had to, get him a gift. Because of that, he was like, why would I do that? He felt indebted, and he referred me to his network individual friends. Like the kind of referrals I'm enjoying from him is mind blowing. So most times these big men or women, sometimes they don't really, people do not really gift them because they feel that they have much. But you gifting them, you're kind of touching a soft part in their heart. So gifting is very, very important. Then number two, always make sure that you update them on what is going on their investment. If it's possible for you to create a brokers list, people that bought into a particular estate, as time to time, maybe every month, every week, every day, try to send the brokers message that, oh, this is the work going on currently. Your investment has appreciated from 2.5 to 4 million. Keep giving updates to make them, oh, which other one is on board? I want to buy this. That's how I, repeat. That's how I repeated a lot of clients. I kept giving them updates and they keep coming back, asking me for more, telling them, oh, this is your land that you bought for 3.5. They're not selling for over 10 million naira. Then I'll be like, oh, is there anyone in the market? You understand? So you have to keep communicating, because if you don't communicate and if you don't follow up, they'll feel that it's not important to you or it's not really important to them. Share you get.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.